Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up.
Hello everyone and welcome to Fantasy Football Focus, the new show, the Captaincy Streak. So here we are on the Captaincy Streak page. As you can see, I've got numerous stars there, and if I manage to hit a captain, but the captain has to hit over 13 points each game week, then the streak will be activated. I'll add a player into one of the star positions. You can see how many points they got, and as we go along the season, we'll see how many I can actually get in a row. So, yeah, first up, Aubameyang, scraping it by 1 point. I think he got a yellow card in that game as well, so still managed to make it for me, which is brilliant. Just good to get game week 1 off to a start. 14 points, captaincy streak started. Obviously, I know Mo Salah would have been the man in there for sure. Mo Salah bagging that hat-trick, and I was unfortunately on the side of a no Salah. So, looking forward though, still hopeful. I've still got players like Traore to play tonight, Havertz, Werner. I'm on about 42 points at the moment. So yeah, we'll just have a little chat about things, and I'm happy to take questions from the chat if anyone joins me. Realise 3 p.m, probably not the most popular time, but the more I go live and the more consistent I am, the better it is, and the more people will get to know times that I do go live. So yeah, this is Captaincy Streak, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this show, guys. So I'm going to actually go over to my game, my team for the game week. So let's have a look at that, shall we? So here we are, and as you can see, not fantastic. McCarthy in there with just a 2. I'm thinking to myself now, why did I even go with McCarthy? But my original plan was to actually have Martinez in the goal, but now he's obviously moving to Villa. Oh, I know, it's really bad. It's upset me anyway. I thought he was a brilliant goalkeeper. I actually put him just ahead of Leno, but obviously Arteta knows his system well and obviously thinks that Leno can probably play out from the back a lot better. And then the nice pick that I got in there was Jamal Lewis, picking up 7 points there, getting the clean sheet for Newcastle. I have to say, Jamal Lewis looked very positive going forward. So out of my defence, very happy with the young man. Made a lot of runs. I noticed in the game as well that he made a lot of runs where other players didn't actually pass to him. And I was like, the amount of space the guy's in, if they were actually to pick him out more, he could be bringing home even more points, getting in on them assists. But yeah, happy with Jamal Lewis. Good signing by Newcastle. And then a move into the central defence, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, I kick myself on this one a little bit. I'm sure he'll come good. I'm sure he'll get more than 1 point as we go through the season. But I'm kicking myself because my gut said Robertson. I watched the Community Shield. Robertson looked very attacking. And unfortunately, Robertson got the assist, didn't he, in that game? And Trent did diddly squat, even putting the ball into his own net. Mictavius, thank you for joining us. Just type hi just to test it. Yeah, all good. Thanks for joining me, buddy. And yeah, so Trent, absolutely diabolical, really. A bit rusty. Needs some match fitness, doesn't he, really? But we know that will come. We know his points records, very high. He's always on set piece, on corners. I'm sure he can catch up with Robertson now. There'll probably be banter in the dressing room, Robertson going ahead of him. And then you can see Braithwaite there on a naught. Yeah, laugh because I'm laughing. I'm just laughing because he doesn't even have a proper picture, really. He doesn't get game time. And that was the case for me in game week 1. He auto-subbed in, by the way. I didn't pick him first choice. I actually went for William Saliba. And we all know what went wrong there. William Saliba, not absolutely match fit yet, not sharp. And Arteta saying that he's struggling to adapt to the language as well. Which obviously in this Arsenal team and playing under Arteta, communication is key. And until he can grasp the language a bit better, obviously get his fitness going, he's not going to play. So Braithwaite came in but didn't come in, so no points there for me. Move on from that position into the midfield. Popular choice 5.5, Alan St. Maxim. Mictavius just saying looks disinterested when he headed into his own net. Yeah, absolutely, very strange. Bit like Tottenham in the second half. That sort of gave up, hung their heads and that. I think something going on there. I don't know whether it could be a COVID thing even having an effect on everyone, but we'll see as we go through the season. And then as I was saying, Alan St. Maxim. And guys, get your question in chat. I'm going to be answering them whilst I'm live. Obviously, get them in and I'll be happy to answer. So yeah, Alan St. Maxim. Just 3 points, not doing anything. 1 clean sheet, bonus point. Played 70 minutes, 2 points. That's about it, really. Not major concern, I'd say. I think he can come good after a few games. Newcastle side looked a lot better, especially with Callum Wilson. Even Andy Carroll up there making a nuisance of himself. I think Andy Carroll will get a goal this season. Not a player I'd bring in my team, but I do think Andy Carroll could do with Callum Wilson up there. And once they start playing Ryan Fraser in that midfield, there'll probably be a bit more creativity. Could lead to more Wilson goals. And then I go into the midfield. Obviously tonight we've got Chelsea and Wolves playing. We've got Traore there. He's going to play tonight. Havertz and Werner, they're going to play tonight as well. Hopefully for big points from them. Really need it after Salah wounded me. Not being that Salah owner has wounded me. But, you know, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. There's a long way to go. Question in the chat. Would you keep Spurs assets or ditch them till performances get better? Wow. I tell you what. I didn't like what I saw there. My gut feeling on that is I'd get rid. I honestly would. Because I just feel like something's going on in that dressing room. That's just my opinion. Other people might see it differently, but I think Mourinho's upset that dressing room. And I think there's some sort of resistance there. You see all their heads drop. You see Dele get pulled at half-time, a tactical choice. That obviously stirred up everyone. So interesting to see. Keep an eye on Spurs assets for sure. I think Bergwijn could Ndombele be a player, or is he going to be getting a transfer away? But yeah, normally I like the likes of Son. Son looked lively. I'll say if you've got Son, keep Son. He looked lively even when heads dropped around him. He still kind of went for it the most out of everyone. So yeah, in regards to that, I'd keep Son out of everyone. And then in midfield, I have obviously captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for his opening fixture there against Fulham. Fulham sitting back, soaking it up. They couldn't soak it up for too long though, because Aubameyang with that wonder goal. Arsenal running out their winners quite clearly. 14 points there. And that's what got me my captaincy streak. Yeah! Hopefully we get the next one, because that's when the streak officially counts. But after game week 1, I couldn't help myself. Have to get these shows going and got someone in there. And then we move to up front. Obviously Werner, I said, playing tonight. Jamie Vardy, 2 penalties. No XG, obviously. No goal involvement until he stepped up to the penalties. I heard a lot of the community actually slating him a bit. Saying, oh, he's no good. You know, he weren't involved, didn't look good. To me, he looked sharp. When he was offside, but that sharpness, when he turned on the ball really quick, got his shot away, that sharpness, that's Jamie Vardy sharp. But no one was playing him in. So for me, if they'd been playing him in, he'd have been sharp to me. I'd say if they'd played him in, we'd have seen a lot more. Obviously, he's going to take the penalties. And obviously, by them giving away the penalty, you can see how hard they were defending West Brom against Leicester. And that's why they gave the 2 away. Not a lot of space. But, yeah, I was going to get Vardy out. I thought he had City next for some reason. But I was going to do a switch to Martial, because I'm scared. I think Martial's going to do well this season. What do you guys think in the chat? Martial do well? FPL Dazu, thanks for joining us in the chat. He's got a question. He says, what do you think about Man United or Man City assets? In which game week will you bring in? Well, funnily, because I just discussed that leads up perfectly, that question, Daz. And I'll be looking at getting them in possibly this game. I don't like taking hits. This is me as a man. If you don't mind taking hits, then I'd say go for it. If you feel like the community's missed a lot, you know, not happy with players that they thought were going to play, like Mitrovic, people like that. He didn't start, did he? But he could start next one. But upset in defence, like for me, it was Saliba. I've got to rectify that problem. I can tell you now I already have. But yeah, Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes obviously keeps Man United ticking. He's at the heart of everything. He's a conductor. Bring them in if you think that they're going to perform well. But I just got a little feeling they might not be quite sharp straight away. So, watching FPL Family last night, and I got the theme of relax. And I think that is quite an important thing to say. We should relax. We shouldn't be worrying and go, oh, I'm going to take minus hit. Got to get this sorted out. If you think there's really bad fires, then put them out. If you think there's players with your free transfer that haven't either started or done well, definitely bring a Man United or Man City asset in. In Man City, you look at KDB because he's more nailed than anyone else. If Messi had gone there, he'd have been nailed. There would have been none of that Pep Roulette. But KDB seems to survive Pep Roulette more if you look in a general season. Towards the end of lockdown, the reason KDB didn't survive Pep Roulette is because of all the games coming so thick and fast during that period. It was different. Everyone had to adapt. And there was use of extra subs for that reason. So KDB would be your nailed man, obviously, if you could bring him in as a Man City asset. Man United, I'm fancying Martial to do the business. Yes, Bruno Fernandes is on penalties, but I think Martial is just... I think he's gone up a level. I think he's finally found his feet at United, and I expect him to double figure easily this season. So I'll be making the switch, Vardy to Martial, but I'm thinking, I've got a question myself here. What do you guys think I should do? Should I keep Vardy, who obviously, he looked sharp, but he didn't have any real goal involvement? Could he do that next game against Burnley? Now, Burnley are more known to be defensive, so it could be quite frustrating. Do I do the swap now, Vardy for Martial? Or do I wait a game week until Vardy plays Man City, then do Martial? But I tell you what, I'm itching. I'm thinking I don't want to miss out. I just fancy Martial to be heavily involved. I think I will go Vardy to Martial this game week. My transfer, guys, I can reveal to you now. I've already done my transfer. And it is Saliba to Gabriel. Quite simply, he really impressed me, Gabriel. He really did. And obviously he's a starter. I know he's nailed on and I don't want to miss out on his price rising if we get another clean sheet. Arsenal under Arteta seem to just keep the ball better now. There's no rash decisions. They just keep it. They're like, all right, I'll stand on the ball. I'll wait for you to come to me. Very last minute, no pressure. And then I'll pass it. I'll make you run. And I love the way Arteta's got him playing like that. So for me, I bring Gabriel in. I think that he's going to tick on and do well there. Random Junkies question in the chat. Is this normal fantasy? Well, I don't really know how to answer that question, to be honest with you, because a fantasy could be something a bit naughty, couldn't it? But if you're talking about fantasy football, yes, Fantasy Premier League. The Fantasy Premier League game. That's FPL, hashtag FPL. The FPL community. FF Scout, you know, just trying to ring some bells for you, Random Junkie, if you're confused. But yeah, it's fantasy football, buddy. And then, so yeah, continuing on. Any questions in the chat, get them in. Don't forget, I might well do Vardy to Martial. Let me just have 6 viewers. Thank you, everyone, much appreciated. Lovely to have you here. Don't forget, if you're new here, hit the red subscribe button below the screen so you get updated on future videos. As soon as I go live, you will be notified. Yeah, make sure you sub, guys. Get likes on the video. Thank you. Random Junkie says, sorry, Mictavius first. There's a queue. Sorry, I do like to make it fair. Man United player, says Mictavius. Man United players will have price rises this week. Oh, you can. That's the thing, isn't it? If they get 1 or 2 goals, or if they're even combining, you know they're going to get their price rises. Even before that, just by people bringing them in, they're going to get the price rises. Absolutely right, Mig. You don't want to miss out, really, and get behind, even if it is just a 0.1. Every 0.1 counts massively in FPL. Random Junkie then says, I'm on 58 points. Nice. 58 points is nice. At the moment, which is decent. Yeah, absolutely. That is decent. Yeah, agreed. That's why I said, wow, yeah. 58 points. How many players have you got left, Random Junkie? Have you got many more to play? I'd guess you'd have a Chelsea asset playing tonight. I think that's a common theme for people. Wolves or Chelsea assets left to play. Same with me. And Mig says, yes, it is just his own graphics. Oh, right, that's why you're getting confused, because of my graphics. Yeah, I just done my own graphics just to make it look a bit smooth and nice. I got fed up of just showing the FPL screen all the time. I can do the odd stream where I go through teams and stuff like that, but I just thought this would be a bit more creative for you guys. And then Ram Junk says, I have Werner, Pulisic and Mount to play. Wow, a triple Chelsea. Wow, wow, wow. Now, I haven't seen that. I've seen double like me, but triple. I mean, Werner, Pulisic and Mount. Wow, Mount is obviously a Lampard favourite. I think with Havertz next to him, he's going to do even better this season. Chelsea are going to be, they're really going to be quite an attacking force. They were the 3rd highest attacking team in the Premier League last season. Now they've made these red-hot signings. Just imagine how attacking they're going to be, guys. Wow, wow, wow. And then I move on to... well, I just mentioned someone you can't see here in the graphic. Can I just ask a question, guys? Would you like it if I put the players' names in the graphics as well as the picture? Should I put their names below their pictures? Let me know in the chat, guys. And also, I had Saka in my team, thinking that he would actually start. I'm sure he'll get plenty of minutes. I'm sure he can get some assists. But Saka auto-subbed and Traore came in for me. I was lucky, actually, that Saka didn't come on second half, because it's obviously when they come on with a few minutes left, it's less likely they can get points. So I was kind of relieved. And now I get a chance with Traore tonight, which is like, Yes, come on, Traore, you can do it. FPL Daz in the chat saying, I have to take a punt on Jimenez this week. If he scores, I will keep him. If not, I will transfer him out. Jimenez to Martial. Or should I keep him? What do you think? That's a tough one. Jimenez is definitely Premier League calibre. Absolutely. He's definitely the main man of that Wolves side. My only concern at the moment is Wolves have had quite a few new signings. So how are they all going to work together? It's nice just to sit back and have a look and see how they do. But obviously attacking wise, they should be fine still. It's more changes at the back for Wolves. So pretty sure that you'll be fine with Jimenez. Just keep an eye on it. If he bangs, keep him. But like I say, in that Man United side, the goals can come from Pogba even. They come from Bruno Fernandes, come from Greenwood, Rashford, Martial. Who's to say that they don't come from 3 of them players in the game? So that's 1 goal each. Martial 1 goal, Rashford 1, Greenwood 1. And then Jimenez bangs 2 in that Wolves team because he's more vocal. So you could be better off keeping Jimenez over Martial. But my personal opinion is, honestly, I think Martial's going to do really well this season. So yeah, take it as it goes, mate, you know. But you know, the Mexican is good. Game week 3, I'll get rid of Alba and Mount to get either KDB, Greenwood or Bruno and Havertz. Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping Havertz does well tonight and becomes sort of a new FPL asset, like a player that you can rely on for big points. But KDB is probably a must. He's just assist king, isn't he? I'm worried about how I'll fit him in, but I might switch Aubameyang eventually to a KDB. I think that's going to be the theme for me this season, is a merry-go-round in the midfield between Salah, KDB and Aubameyang, and possibly Fernandes. But price-wise, I don't have to worry about Fernandes. It's just if he goes on a mad one and bangs loads of goals in, I won't keep up. Mictavius in the chat. I'm on 37, but have Digne coming off the bench. Nice. He got an assist from that free kick, didn't he, Digne? Nice one, Mig. That's awesome, dude, because I looked at Digne in the drafts pre-season. Gut feeling, 6.0 put me off and his old form. But I thought, you know what? In this Everton side, what Ancelotti's done there, the players buoyant, Digne's going to be more important. Proved it yesterday. Another one of them gut feels where I didn't go. But well done to you for going for it. I know he auto-subbed in for you, but you've still got that choice. So that's brilliant. You got them points coming in. Digne, I think, is going to be a good option in defence this season. So, what did he say? So, Digne coming off the bench. Saka not playing. Say, yeah, right. Same as me, mate, with Saka not playing. Werner and Havertz left tonight. Same as me. Let's see how they do, the Chelsea boys. And we've got FPL Daz saying, yes, keep the name of players so it will be easier to beginners. Yeah, I think so as well. As I was getting ready for this stream, I thought, should I put players' names in? I thought, well, most people know players, but for the new people that get into grips with games, probably a good idea. Thank you for your feedback, Daz. Much appreciated. So next stream, I'll have players' names in there just to make it clearer. Let me just swig my coffee because that's going to get cold. I talk so much, coffee gets cold. You just can't be doing it. Oh, that's good. That is nice. I'm a hiccup there. Right. So, yes, name players are easier to get. 12 points, says Mig, for him. Pure luck. I'm getting it, lol. 12 points, of course. A clean sheet and assist. That is just so good. That is so good. And Mictavius, thank you for moderating this chat for me, buddy. Massive relief that you're on at this time with me to moderate the chat. Thank you, buddy. Everyone, make sure you go and check out Mictavius's Twitter. He's an avid Palace fan. Nothing about Palace that man don't know, so make sure you go and give him a follow as well. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And then moving on, Random Junkie says, not sure who to captain next week. Either Alba or DCL, I think. Okay. I tell you what, DCL looks like he's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, as they say, with Big Duncan Ferguson, who is that presence in a box. Calvert-Lewin looks very physical, very sharp. Looks like he can nick a ball off of a defender and run through on goal. Like, just snatch the ball and away he goes. No looking back. And with all these midfield options for Everton, James Rodriguez, take a touch, son. Wow. Take a bow, son, for that touch. Amazing. And the creativity that could come from that midfield. Decore bursting forward, defending well. Allen was impressive, defending well. I wouldn't say Allen was an FPL asset because he's defensive, but fantastic for Everton and means that DCL will have more of the ball because of Allen. So DCL for sure a very strong striking option this season. He's going to be like the new type of he's going to be like a Jimenez, I think, but for Everton. Random Joe, not sure to captain. He said, I read that already. I always do that. McTavius, Alba still captain for me. Yeah, West Ham looked really pooping. They really did. They looked in bits. They looked like they hadn't had a clue. David Moyes woke up out the wrong side of bed, I think. But so did his players. And I think Arsenal, they're on the up with Arteta. They're playing good football. One of the important things I mentioned earlier, they're keeping the ball. They're just wear the team out like Barcelona used to do. Tiki-taka, keep the ball, wear the opposition out. West Ham are in for it. I'm hoping Aubameyang hauls to make up for Salah. I'll be putting the captaincy on Aubameyang for game week 2. I've not really got much choice unless Werner turns up and beasts it with like a hat-trick or 2 goals and makes you think, actually. But then again, Chelsea are playing Liverpool game week 2, so ignore that. No, not an option, but definitely Aubameyang. Definitely. Daniel, welcome to the chat. Daniel 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and he says for me it's between Alba and Salah. Oh, it has to be. They're both top hitters, Daniel. Definitely, they are on fire. I missed out on the Salah captaincy, or even having Salah. He's hurt me this game week. Vardy took the edge off of it for me, but still gutted. I need to get someone decent to hit back. Random Junkie says, I'm not convinced on Salah against Chelsea. I'm not convinced either, but for the attack that Liverpool will have, you know that Salah will be involved. So whoever else attacks, if they get fouled and it's a penalty, who's taking it? Salah, buddy. Salah will be on the penalties, whoever wins it. So he's always got that capability, possibility of getting the points. He's a sly devil. But it'll be interesting to see, can Chelsea keep Liverpool out? I'm actually expecting Chelsea to beat Liverpool next game week. Absolutely. I think Chelsea will beat them. I think Liverpool do look vulnerable at the back, which worries me because I've got Trent, but hopefully he can get some attacking returns. Daniel says, need to watch the game tonight. We'll decide my captaincy. And if I get Martial for Werner or not. All right, yeah. So watch the game, gauge it that way, and Werner or not. Yeah, absolutely. Basically, I think what Daniel's trying to say there is if Werner is that red hot, there's not really need to replace him for Martial because you've got a big hitter there already. So then you just gauge it even more as the season goes between Martial and Werner. And if Martial did go ahead, then you've got the funds there to get him in again, I'm sure. Because both will be just getting price rises ridiculous. Looked really pooping, says Mictavius. I'm stealing that. Yeah, well, it's a polite way of saying that they played, you know, let's just say it, shit. But pooping is the polite way. I prefer to keep things clean. That's just the way I do things on here, I suppose. Right, Random Junkie. Let me just swig my coffee. My voice is trying to keep up. You guys, 7 viewers. Thank you, everyone. Much appreciated. Fantastic. I'll have 5 players playing, says Random Junkie. 5 players, yes you will, because you triple Chelsea, didn't you, Random Junkie? So you will have 5 players in the Chelsea-Liverpool game. you're going to be end to end. You're hoping for a goal fest there, really, by your defenders, but you can't have it all. You really can't. Random Junkie, no point doing Werner to Martial, in my opinion. That's fair. He says, in my opinion, very important in FPL, because everyone's opinion is their own. And we all have our own ways, and that's what makes games so interesting, is that we play it our own way. Sometimes we can admire another manager's opinion, or the way he plays, and go, actually, he's on something there. I'll sprinkle a little bit of that in my formation, and then add that to my team, and just be like, yeah, I've got the full setup here. Thanks for that. I owe you one, not. Won't tell you my tactics, mate. Triple F spitting fire today, says Mig. Is that including the pooping, buddy? Does that count as spitting fire? Daniel saying, I have a problem currently with Dele Alli. Thinking about James always do that. It's James Rodriguez, isn't it? Not James. Spelt James, but it's James. James Rodriguez or Pulisic after the next game week. Yeah, I think a lot of people would have turned to Pulisic immediately over Havertz. I really do. But I think because he just come back from that injury, people have held off a little bit, waiting to see if he comes back to full fitness. But we all know what everyone was saying about Pulisic. He's just like Hazard. He's very Hazard-like. Not now. I think he's probably better than Hazard now. I think he's having a stinker at Real Madrid, isn't he, Hazard? Not getting the football he used to. But anyway, that's straying leagues. We stick to the Premier League and FPL. Pulisic is a beast. Definitely one to bring in. I would, for sure. James Rodriguez was amazing for Everton. Yes, well, not amazing. He was very good for a debut in the Premier League. He did very well. It didn't faze him. Spit fire, don't spit pooping. Cool, yeah, then I'd have the runs, wouldn't I? And then he says, I did have Pulisic until late change to Havertz, as though Pulisic is starting the bench. Yeah, because he just come back, everyone was sort of saying, there's no need to rush Pulisic back. Lampard won't rush him back, and I can see why you did that, Mig, because you thought he might possibly be benched. 7 viewers, guys. Really enjoying this stream. Hope you are too. As we go on to subject, I will catch up on the chat in a minute. I'm just going to summarise on the screen Richarlison's performance yesterday. I wouldn't say it was pooping. Maybe I could say it was a bit more streamlined. It was okay. It was 50-50 for Richarlison. He had that clear chance, rounded the goalkeeper, but when he rounded Lloris, his touch was just too heavy. And then he gave himself the difficult angle. He just went to place it in the goal, which is fair enough. You can score. How many times do you see it? Player rounds keeper. People were criticising him for not squaring it to DCL. But how many times do you see a Martial, Rashford and Mbappe round the goalkeeper and finish from an angle? It's not even that tight an angle. He just scuffed it. But I think that's just a frustration. If you own DCL, you're like, why didn't you square it? You dumb Richarlison. But he should have got some more points for me in that game. He had about 3 opportunities down that left flank. And I read it tactically. I saw that Decore and Allen sit in that midfield. I knew they would eat up Tottenham. I didn't know. I guessed. My guess was right. And they got the ball, spread it wide. And I knew James being on the other side, he's not a runner like Richarlison, a flair. He's not a runner. He's more of a keep the ball, ping the long pass, find someone. I knew that Richarlison had that option from all 3 of them, Decore, Allen and Rodriguez. And he showed it. He had, how many opportunities did he have down that side? Loads, but needs to work on his finishing a bit more. Should have had a goal though. So fixtures wise with Everton, if you've got DCL or Richarlison or even James Rodriguez, definitely keep them. The green fixtures at the moment are amazing. And that brings me on to one more thing, guys. In the video here, on the screen, sorry guys. As well as the names, do you think we should have just the next 3 fixtures in there and colour-coded, whether they're a green for difficulty or a red? Like just below, just so you can see my team and go, actually, that play's got a green, red. Like, so just so you know, like it'll add more to it and make you think maybe as well. Right, going back to the chat. Here we go. I've got some catching up to do. You guys are sharp in the chat today. My God. Here we go. Mctavius Ramjai. I finished 24k in the world last season. 24k in the world is very good. Something I strive for. Absolutely. Well done, Random Junkie. Keep it up. What are you going for this season, Random Junkie? Are you going for literally just 20k, or are you really hungry for 10k? What are you going for, sir? And Daniel says, a big fan of Pulisic. Think he will score about the same points as Alba and KDB this season. That's a big shout, but he's definitely shown his attacking threat, and he could well do that. If he plays and doesn't get injured, yes, definitely. Random Junkie says, I thought that Pulisic would start on the bench. Yeah, me too, definitely, as discussed earlier. But still preferred him because he would be in the box more than Havertz, so should better future game weeks. Yeah, he'll do well. He could well feature tonight and could well be banging them in. It's going to be an exciting few games to watch. Sheffield United versus Wolves. Will Sheffield United with Ramsdale in goal be a bit of a wall again? What do we think? Can Wolves unlock it there? Can Jimenez and Traore expose them? Let's see. FBL Daz says, yeah, it's a good idea. Thank you for your feedback again, Daz. So, yeah, I will definitely be adding fixture colours in as well as names, just so you can see at a glance what the player's in for. Random Junkie saying, going to go for 10k if I can, because last season I didn't play properly until game week 13. Wow, so considering you didn't even play properly and you got that 20 odd k finish, imagine what you can do if you play properly. So yeah, good luck, Random Junkie. Make sure you keep me informed this season. I'll be going live throughout Captaincy Streak stream, and I'll be doing my game week reviews and preview videos. Gonna wrap this stream up, guys. Thank you to everyone that's joined me in the chat. I've really enjoyed it. I love answering questions, or, you know, not necessarily mean that I know the answer, but I love discussing it. I think as an FPL manager, it's important to discuss, because then you get ideas flowing and then you start opening doors to points. That's what we want anyway. Daniel just saying, Werner hasn't looked good when playing as a lone striker, so I suspect Havertz might be playing like a second striker alongside him. That'll be interesting to see if Havertz is right up there and heavily involved. I'm sure he will. I believe he did that for Leverkusen as well, and is where he got a lot of his goals from. Quite excited to watch Havertz tonight. So that about wraps the stream up, guys. If you're new here, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, smash a like, bell notification, then you'll be notified of more videos in future. Thanks for watching, everyone.